Peace. Good afternoon. Like to welcome you guys back to another edition of the Foul Playland. As always, I'm your foul player. Sorry for coming on late, but I was actually eating Chinese food. Pardon me, guys. One second. Pardon me, guys. One second. My bad, peoples. Boxing update FE30. Peace. Thank you for coming through, man. Um, I know if it's your first time, man, much love for coming through. But yeah, I came out a little later because I ordered Chinese food and I wanted to finish it. But in my fortune cookie of said Chinese food, which I still got the my ginger ale, which I haven't opened from the said Chinese food. But like I was telling you guys, in the Chinese food, my fortune, I don't know if you guys could read it from there, but it says your principles mean more to you than any money or success. And I mean, the God send messages when they could. The peace, Michael Johnson. Thank you for coming through. Tyrone, what up, bro? Peace for coming. Thank you for coming through. But and that's really hitting. You know, just came back from my lawyer's office. That's the reason I'm not dressed like an abject bum like normally, or in pajamas or some shit, or in underwear. But I I think that resonates as far as like the content that I want to do. Like and maybe like, I'm a very candid MFer. I gotta try to like resist the urge of cursing. But I'm a very honest MFer. Like just because I don't try to be rude, or I don't need to like, bring up some bad shit, to be honest. Like some people, like they're honest, like, and they just want to diss you or whatever. You know, but I think within like, maybe the YouTube boxing landscape as I see it, maybe I had reservations as to like, not coming out and being more outright like with my criticism of things. Like a lot of times, like I mean, like I would put whatever. Maybe there was some social pressure from the people I like on YouTube. I guess not really. I mean, like not in the sense like, oh, I'm God forbid I can't like not agree in this case. But shit, I mean, I don't know what the hell is happening with the world. I mean, like where and this is not just in YouTube boxing, but where people want to feed you abject bullshit and tell you it's some other shit. Like even females, like they're telling you like to respect for certain females that are running around here as much as you would respect your grandma, in spite of the fact that said female may be holding a Michael Johnson boxing to a Gamora or a wiener. You know, and that I think you know, am I vocal with my opinions in with stuff like that? No, I'm not stupid. But it's not to say that the pressure doesn't exist. Like, you can't be candid all the time, like, unless you're like a real dick, maybe. I don't know. Or unless you're looking for problems, like, but I'm definitely not looking for problems, like with nobody. But life's too short. Like fucking like my last time I came on, like a day before that, my somebody I grew up with died. I think he was 43. Um so you gotta let it off. I mean, like if you see bullshit, you call it out. Like, and anybody telling you otherwise, I mean, like, it might work for a day. I mean, you're ladies. I mean, because I'm only using this as I didn't want to use a man example in this, because if I like it wouldn't work. Like you're a simp if you use my man example. With ladies, let's per se, if your guy was running around and then he used one excuse like one day, and then like the following day he used another excuse as to why like he disappeared per se, like after a while, like come on, how much are you gonna take of this shit? 3 weeks, 4 weeks till you start spazzing out, or talk about making a change or making a change, and it's what it is. Like I mean, like And how long are we gonna do this with boxing? With the sport? It's a fucking sport. At the end of the day, bro, like I don't like ride for none of these dudes. I'm a regular jackass. The house I live in emanates regular jackass house. I ain't trying to ball on nobody. Nobody's balling here. Like, we're in the same hole. You and I, whoever's listening to this. We're fucking one step away from being bums. I'm not going to say one step away from being rich because you're not, unless you believe in lotto tickets. But if you're like me, one step away from fucking being out on the street, you're a regular cat. And that's okay. I'm not dissing regular cats. But at the end of the day, I mean, what are entertainers here to do for regular cats? Like, make easy paydays and coast into some bullshit argument as to why they should get into the Hall of Fame and like while getting paid decent money? Or it's not my forte to be waiting on shit like that. I don't care if business it gets in the way of that. If business gets in the way of that, then I'll tear down business. If a promotion gets in the way of that, then I'll tear down that promotion. If a fighter gets in the way of that, I'll knock down that fighter. Big fucking deal. Like, these dudes ain't your husbands, bro. Like, y'all act like a lot of times like wives with these fighters. Lately, especially, it's getting worse. If I say that the world is getting worse as far as people feeding you a line of bullshit, and you gotta agree, fucking I think that resonates with fucking boxing too. Like when you see shit like what Errol's been doing as far as avoiding Bud Crawford. Oh, but you can't mention that shit because Errol's making business moves. Like business moves? What is a business move for a boxer when it comes to a regular dude like you and I who are watching these fights? Like what? You don't even see business. You don't see back and forth negotiations. You hear rumors of it. But even if you did see it back and forth and they made a show about that, how cool would that show be? Not at all. It'd be fucking corny. The boxing business. Like watching Leonard Ellaby fucking greasy ass face fucking with his nostril hairs like fucking breathing on the phone. How cool would that be? And if you did like were into that shit, you're into Empire too. Or Medea movies. Like fucking people gotta stop cheering this shit on, because like at the end of the day, if the boxing business brings us to fast tracks us to fights, then I'd fucking it is what it is. I mean, I wouldn't get involved with boxing business talk, but if it's just a byproduct of getting us fights, then I wouldn't even care about boxing business because I'd be getting constant fights. I'm not getting constant fights now. I'm getting 2 fights per year. Whack fights most of the time. Most of the time, you're lucky to get 1 fight per year from your favorite fighter. Good example. Errol Spence fought 2 whack fights in a row. Danny Garcia and Ugas. Danny Garcia, he fought him for absolutely nothing. 0. That was a mandatory that was announced after Danny Garcia jumped in the ring. We got to start making excuses like with the bullshit that we're seeing now that's happening in boxing. I mean, or if you want to accept it, go ahead and accept it. But like, what's and if you accept it, like any fucking asshole like Jake Paul comes into the sport and he dominates. Any Mexican like that has a little bit of a lighter complexion to him, he comes to the sport and he'll dominate. He'll do the same shit, avoidance, like with a bunch of people clapping behind him, whether it be a country or fucking boxing groups online. If as long as we co-sign this shit, then and what stops somebody else from doing this shit? And it's not like these problems like with corny fan bases using business or like fucking that don't get shit done. Like they don't get fights done. Period. Like going through business talks don't get fights done. But these annoying fan bases, like fucking and I'm gonna tell you the ones I've lived through, like online, like which were number 1, first Manny. Then we started going into the age of Anthony Joshua's corny ass fan base, like or the rabid fan base online, the can't do no wrong fan base, and now number 3, the cringiest ones of all, is the Errol Spence fan base. The I can't and I mean, if you're an Errol Spence fan, this is not shitting on you one iota. You like who you want to like. But at the end of the day, I mean, if he's not giving you what you want to see in the ring, then what the fuck? Like, can I not like? If you don't want to criticize him, that's cool. I understand. You know, you want to. You know, you may be a centrist. You don't want to get involved with the bullshit, but don't get in my way for trying to criticize like the moves these dudes make. And at the end of the day, I mean, if this business shit keeps getting flouted around, I think like us being burglars with these pay-per-views should be flouted around too. That should be embedded in our hearts now with how these dudes are doing us, like boxing in general. PBC, Matchroom, Anthony Joshua, like Wilder. I mean, is the only fighter of this era giving it up. Like, in spite of the fact that he got his shit rocked, like fucking Wilder was giving it up. Wilder had dudes avoiding him and still fighting dudes and making a lot and making real money, not no fucking 3 or 4 million like these cats in welterweight are making right now. Real money. I'm not saying, and Wilder wasn't the biggest draw at that time, but he was still a dominant. He was still fucking, say what you want. He was in large part responsible for bringing the heavyweight division back to its to anything right now. Like, only dude giving it up in boxing like that, a high level like money maker in boxing that's giving it up. All these other cats, I mean, Ugas, you're gonna wait for an Ugas fight. You know, literally, dude ain't fight like the whole pandemic, like fucking eye problem, Ugas. And this dude stayed like with the light touch bullshit, bro. Like fucking Errol Spence, bro. Dude's a wildin', bro. And at the end of the day, I mean, like if you feel away, which I know a lot of dudes be feeling away about me going at Errol Spence currently because Errol Spence is avoiding Bud currently. Fight don't get made, and I'm gonna talk shit. Period. Big deal. If you feel a way about it, I mean, like, you know, I don't got a problem with you, but I'm not gonna stop. We can have a conversation about it. Still not gonna stop, or you're not gonna convince me. Let me go into the comments, man. I'm riveted by the fact that there are so many comments, and I didn't mean to ignore you, but again, I have a hard time, like, you know, getting off track. Like, so shout out to all of you guys, man, that have been commenting. But Tyrone, my man, said salute. He said, still reeling from some of the stuff you came out with the other night. I don't know if you're talking about my takes the other night. What do you think about Floyd? I mean, I think Floyd had a legendary career, but I think Floyd, in large part right now, is in the way of shit. I think Floyd is one of the illest boxers I've ever seen do it, if not the illest that I've ever seen do it. Between him, Duran, that I've seen do it live. Bernard for a little while, like Roy Jones. But right now, Floyd's just in the way. Floyd ain't shit to me right now because Floyd's a businessman. And I think Floyd, his business practices, like these other promoters, if not worse than these other promoters, gets in the way of me watching Tank fight anybody with a pulse. You're about to hit your friends at the workplace for a sum. Friends at the workplace for a sum. I don't get it, Tyrone. My bad, bro. Hit the like button, y'all. Oh, thank you, brother. My bad, bro. Job just over broke. Oh, yeah, definitely, man. A job ain't nothing but work. You from New York, huh? Yeah, definitely, man. Sunset Park, Brooklyn. Boosh. Hey, salute, Watcher, from a man from Australia, down under. Let me guess, at Watcher, 5 a.m. No, it's I know it's later than that. Or yeah, it is later than that. Spence beats Bud. He probably could, bro. Like, I'm not discounting that one iota. I think Spence has a good chance of beating Bud. That's what makes this even more embarrassing. The fact that you know, a lot of the talk from Errol Spence fans puts no pressure on Errol Spence. Going on half a decade. Errol Spence gets dog walked by Bud. Oh, I think you gave two different takes. But let's see. I would rather see Wilder put out like that. I didn't change anything. Watcher, it seems like some sort of phenomenon. You said you were at your lawyers. Yeah, earlier I was. Why do you change the time from 14 hours to 16 hours? I don't get it, bro. I don't know if you're talking to me or not. Yeah, but thank you guys for commenting. I mean, like, or filling the chat up. First time, like for me, like, and it's not like me shitting on you guys. It's me happy that you guys are like in the chat. But yo, I had Southpaw 773. Yo, Southpaw 773 is my man's. Like I I talk to him via the phone and all the time, man. Shout out to Southpaw and in his semi-retirement. But yeah, man, like, so I mean, like, and Southpaw, like, a lot of his gripes like come with Canelo. And I agree 100%. Like, even though Canelo is moving up and moving down and collecting belts, at the end of the day, the belts don't mean shit. His accomplishments don't mean shit by moving up and down. If he's not fighting Jamal Charlo when he was at 160, or Benavidez when he was at 168, or there's a lot of finagling that happens, like with Canelo, like with the weight shit, like fucking or these stupid rehydration clauses, like dumb shit prior to fights. So like, I mean, like, a lot, it's not like Canelo's still making bread. So we got to go after like the business of why Canelo's the number one guy, or why nobody like really puts their fucking nuts up and tries to overtake Canelo as the number one guy. You're telling me if Errol Spence beat Bud Crawford 3 times in a row, like a lot of y'all Errol Spence fans say he would, all right, throw it up. Like fucking, if he threw it up and he beats Bud Crawford 3 times in a row, he'd be right on Canelo's ass. If not, he'd be bypassing him. But boxing in its current state works fucking stupidly. And if anybody wants to come on here, like defending as to why we gotta ingest the fucking whack ass fight like Ugas versus Errol Spence and pay for the benefit of like bullshit ass fights like that. I mean, you may not agree with me one iota, and that's okay. I mean, like, not trying to change your thinking, but I think that in certain circles in the past on YouTube, maybe a lot of people had trepidation or a little bit of fear when it came to talking about certain fighters, but we're all gonna die. Fuck, what are you gonna do? Like, do you want to add? I mean, do you want to lie on some boxer like the day before you fall off some scaffolding or fucking get pushed off a roof? I got better shit to do fucking before I die. Let me see. Southpaw 773 TV commented on my channel talking about go kill yourself, but no one can phase me. Nah, I mean, like, it is what it is, man. It's the internet. I mean, Southpaw is a very passionate individual. But he's a good person at the end of the day, and I mean, he's quick to say what's on his chest. I don't think that's a bad thing. But and if you guys don't know who Southpaw 773 TV is, please do go subscribe and check out his content. But the main topic at hand, though, is coming on the heels of a lot of the videos that I've been watching. And I watch everybody's videos, bro. A lot of these channels that have now disgusted me or began to disgust me have done that fairly recently, in the last, like, really hard in the last month, but I still listen to everybody. I got like love for channels that I don't agree with, but I mean, there's a lot of channels that still play it up the middle that haven't deviated. Even channels that are like that maybe like pump the brakes on being critical of Errol Spence. If you hold the position that this is not the Errol Spence Bud versus Bud that we want, that's okay by me. You know what I'm saying? But these other dudes being mad extra, fucking with fuck Bud, like who the fuck this motherfucker? Now he's gonna have to sit on the sidelines. Who the fuck is Bud gonna fight now? Ah, ah. Fucking like, oh, let's see Bud try to ask for 40% now. He be lucky to get 25%. Oh, like, bro, like what? Like, are you getting broken off like by Errol Spence? Did you ever receive a high five from Errol Spence at some point? Even through fucking Zoom or through on video camera? No. Stop being such a dick rider. And I mean, like, if I'm honing in on one fan base or really making a stink as to why I'm blowing up on the Errol Spence fan base now, is because y'all weren't like this a couple years ago when Errol Spence was actively looking for fights. Y'all were calling out Keith Thurman for using excuses as to why he wasn't fighting Errol Spence. Fantastic. What happened now, though? Y'all were the same fan base calling out AJ for using a lot of the same shit that Errol Spence is doing now. Y'all were calling him out a couple years ago. What the fuck happened to y'all? And the thing is, at the end of the day, I understand, but AJ was doing big money shit while he was avoiding Wilder. Errol Spence ain't fucking doing no big money shit while he's avoiding Bud. He's doing less and less and less money shit, diminishing pay-per-view numbers. And if I could spend every time like on this motherfucker YouTube, trying to convince people not to pay for this fight. Not that I've come to some epiphany lately, because I haven't been paying for fights lately, but I was debating these points on Facebook, and people were like cutting me up saying, oh, well, you know, these motherfuckers that don't even pay for fights expect to get like, no, yes, I do expect to like to get good product. Like fucking then maybe I'd want to pay for fights. You think I'm supposed to pay now, and just because I don't pay now that I shouldn't fucking make a gripe about it? Fuck that. Like, you guys gripe about fucking anything to do with Terrence Bud Crawford, or if it's anything favorable, you guys just don't cover it, or you guys choose not to cover it, or gloss over it. Let me see. Canelo fans are the worst. Yeah, they are. But honestly, a lot of those dudes that like be rooting for Canelo, particularly online, maybe watch 2 fights per year. Tyrone fell on his face. They both jokes for real. Watcher. I may not get it like what you guys are talking about. Yeah, but all these rabid fan bases, among them, you know, especially dudes that are doing like shit on YouTube. And I don't know shit about boxing, bro. Like I there's people within this chat that know way more about boxing than me. There's a lot of these content creators that I don't fucking agree with that know more about boxing than me. But they're acting brand new with these situations. Acting brand new and acting like they never like this just always happens with this business shit. You know, and at the end of the day, I mean, Errol Spence is not making big bread like that. And I hope you guys join me in and don't be suckers and pay for these fights. Go to Team Stream, Boxing Burglars in the building, taking every fight free of charge. It's the biggest crime I've committed in these decades that I've roamed this earth. But geez, for a good cause. Let me see. F Canelo, Fury fans hands down are the worst. Almost as bad as Pacquiao fans. Yeah, I wouldn't agree. I swear L is undercover. I swear L is an undercover Fury fan. Now I like Fury. I mean, like, I'm not like a rabid fan. I'm not a fan of just about any boxer. Maybe one, and it's not like that. I'm not a fanatic for any fighter. You know, if not, I'd be making content about said fighters, like opposition all the time, like trying to diss them or like trying to big up a certain fighter. Yeah, I'm glad that I don't big up anybody on fucking YouTube boxing anymore. I don't got time to waste. Nobody's doing anything commendable at this stage of the game. We got to tear this shit down. Tear it down at every turn. You want to go tear Bud Crawford down? Like, do it. You want to steal Bud Crawford fights? Do it. Oh, you know, how you gonna take money out of brother's pocket? Fuck him. No brother like puts money in your pocket. Fuck them. Like these dudes ain't like coming up off us. I mean, off me. If you want to be a guilty Simpson, like fucking by all means, like go pay your fucking $84.99 like on one of these whack ass fights. I mean, there's one coming up like $40. It's a fucking steal. Luis Ortiz versus whoever the fuck he's fighting. That's a steal. Discount $40. Fuck out of here. I'd rather burn the $40 than fucking pay for a fight because I still get to watch the fight streaming. Let me see. I manage Watcher now. It's hard to get him fights. Yeah, I'm not fighting. Yeah, but if it's getting in the way of these fights, start tearing it down, bro. Tear down your favorite channels. If I'm getting in the way of a fight in the future, come right back here and fucking diss me. But I ain't gonna do that shit. Playing it up the middle. Now is not the time to be worried about breaking people's hearts online. And trust me, most of the people that I fruxed with on YouTube have their hearts broken because of what I'm saying now. And again, I got no beef with nobody, got no problems with nobody. I'm not motivated by you, in making my content like in hopes of dissing you. I'm not dissing you. If you think I'm dissing you, I'm not. Like fucking But if I'm dissing your favorite fighter and you feel a way about it, then I am dissing you. Like fucking tough shit. Like fucking too bad. He ain't doing shit for you. And if that favorite fighter happens to be Errol Spence, who's my newly acquired end all be all as far as targets go, tough shit. I mean, or play a hand in trying to convince me otherwise, and tell me all these great things, this heavy lifting that Errol Spence is doing. Nada. Errol Spence ain't giving no interviews building up this Bud Crawford fight. Period. Never done it. Oh, he did one. So, he fucking put a laughing emoji and he put a sentence in front of it. Errol Spence is doing just as much. Errol Spence ain't doing shit to make this fight happen. Bud Crawford isn't doing much, but he's doing a ton more than fucking Errol Spence. Errol Spence ain't doing shit for this fight. I just fucking I try to peep that interview where this dumb motherfucker Errol Spence got in that stage drunk post fight for I don't know who the fuck, and gave a semblance of a call out like to Errol Spence, and he's basically talking the boxing landscape and why he's avoiding like these fights. He's breaking it down like that's his drunk moment on a stage, and it's not like he's saying like, "Yo, fuck Bud Crawford," like when we're gonna line it up in a year or two, like fucking, but that motherfucker ain't shit. I'm gonna rock him. All bitch shit, all like saying like setting it up as to like why Sean Porter is a great competitor and Danny Garcia is a great competitor before fighting them. Basically setting it up to tell you I'm gonna fight Sean Porter and Danny Garcia exactly how he did before I fight Bud Crawford, and why that's such a big deal, like why you should give a shit about it. Some people did give a shit about the fact that fucking Errol Spence fought Sean Porter instead of fighting Bud Crawford. I didn't. I said that was a whack ass fight. Just like I say every one of fucking Bud Crawford's fights at 147 is whack. I didn't think that Danny Garcia was a whack fight. I mean, a good fight. I thought it was a terrible fight. And a lot of your favorite fucking streamers or a lot of your favorite dudes on YouTube were saying the same shit. How immediately when Danny Garcia jumped into the ring, fucking that was a bad fight. And nobody wants to see that shit. And then 2 days later, switch it up. Superstar Danny Garcia, like my man, bro. You didn't just say some shit on Saturday, like this in the fight, and now all of a sudden it's a superstar, legendary, fucking light skin, fucking blue eyes, Danny Garcia. Like what? Like now all of a sudden Danny Garcia is something that like we got to be that's popping. Danny Garcia versus anybody ain't a popping fight. It hasn't been for a while. Since Danny Garcia lost to Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia versus anybody hasn't been a popping fight. Let alone Errol Spence's last fight was against Danny Garcia fucking over a year ago. And this dude's fucking around with his career. making us wait all this time to then go fight Ugas. And I didn't root for fucking Andy Ruiz to beat AJ or anybody else to beat AJ when this whole shit was happening with Deontay Wilder, where Deontay Wilder, in essence, was being frozen out. You know, fucking I didn't cheer for any of these dudes to beat Anthony Joshua while he was avoiding Wilder because I wanted Wilder to beat him. I took a little bit of solace in the fact that he got beat by Ruiz, but at the end of the day, it was an acclaim, a accolade that could have been given to Wilder in my mind back then. But this time around, like I don't even give a shit about the fucking Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence fight because it's not gonna happen after Ugas either. Exactly what's gonna happen. They're gonna fucking try to convince somebody to give him a mandatory for one of those belts, guaranteed. And I think if Ugas wins, that's gonna happen no matter what. You don't think it's gonna happen when Errol wins? You think Errol's gonna fast track into a fight with Bud Crawford if he beats Ugas? Does Errol Spence say anything that sounds like he's gonna fast track a fight with Bud Crawford since this fight with Ugas was announced? Not one bit. What's Errol been talking about? Heavy lifting, that he's doing all the heavy lifting, i.e., I'm worth more in a bargain. So Errol Spence is going to fast track you not into a Bud Crawford fight next. He's going to fast track you into a long fucking term bargaining, like fucking or back and forth, like fucking that's going to extend on for more years. And if you guys are cool with that, like fucking by all means, like spend that $74.99 on these fights. You know, keep getting your subscriptions to the Zone. You know, fucking But I mean, even if I don't agree with you, you could be from the most repulsive fan base. Don't buy anybody's fights, bro. Like fucking, I don't want to see you waste your money. Period. Keep that shit in your pocket. Like right now, like fucking, I'm doing okay for myself, and like, it's not like fucking easy, like that I, you know, where I could go buy fucking gifts like for fucking everybody. But you think I'd rather give that money to Errol Spence or fucking Canelo or fucking Bud Crawford for that matter? When I could buy 2 fucking gifts, I could buy 2 gifts for some ghetto ass kids, and that'll be the biggest gift they ever got. They'll think it's a fucking Christmas miracle. Let me see. My bad, bro. I've been fronting on these comments, bro, but I lose my train of thought mad quick, bro. Like, so forgive me, friends. What's good? Came first time here from Spence. I don't know what you mean, bro. Watcher, Amit Dopa team get back to you. I don't know who that is. TS Boxing Radio Silence. Salute, bro. Hey, peace to 503 Line, bro. Like fucking and you know, 503 Line, bro. Somebody I got mad love for, bro. Like I was actually gonna list channels like that. I among the list of channels that I have love for, you know, like or that I still have love for. Because I like if you just came on later in the game, 503, I was saying or voicing my dissatisfaction with a lot of like boxing talk that's happening now. You know, like a lot of the fronting that's happening now, you know, it's like, you know, people are trying to convince you that that it's good for the sport. It's not. It's terrible for the sport. We're waiting more time for these fights. For this fight, one fight, Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford. Period. I haven't wanted any fight like the fights I've always wanted. I mean, like fucking and we ain't get like fucking Kovalev Adonis. Fucking didn't get it. You know, we didn't get Charlo like fucking versus Boo Boo. We're not gonna get it. You know, we ain't get Charlo versus Canelo. We're not gonna get it. You know, we ain't get like, and these are some of the best fights, and we're not gonna get Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence. I see no way it's gonna happen. I mean, like literally, like a lot of the shit that they've asked for Errol Spence to do, as far as his fan base goes, like you know, he's done it. He's dipped off from Bob Arum. I didn't want him to be like fucking Bob Arum, and I was fucking pissed off when he re-signed with Bob Arum. but that was being used as a hurdle. I didn't understand it because literally, like Fury versus Wilder got made, top ranked fucking PBC. I didn't think it was a big deal, but it was no longer there. Everybody was saying, he got to leave Bob like to make this fight happen. The motherfucker leaves Bob, and you don't hear shit from Errol Spence for a month. Boom! All of a sudden, Ugas. Next thing you hear, oh, I'm doing all the heavy lifting. Radio silence. You ain't gonna hear from Errol Spence until they gotta promote this Ugas fight. It's bullshit, abject bullshit. And I think a lot of us shouldn't put up with it no more. I don't think like that. If you don't want to make, I'm hoping that I'm talking to one motherfucker that's buying pay per view nowadays. I mean, I hope all of you guys ain't buying it off the rip. I mean, but if you are, I mean, like, not dissing you, but I hope that upon you coming back here, like, fucking, if you like really don't like the way this sport is heading, because trust me, the way it's heading, Jake Paul is gonna be the biggest fighter, fucking 2025. Trust me. Or some other fucking white internet dude or a fucking mumble rapper. Like if you want the sport to go that way and you want to be breaking down fucking Jake Paul like fucking check hooks, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Let me see. Here come the MXBC dudes. I don't know who that is, bro. Yo, Shot Paul, what it is, bro? Who sent me this? Like I said, you can't blame one and not blame the other. I'm not big ups. Yeah, I mean, and again, I'm very candid with mine. Like I'll diss any fan, like any fan base, any fighter. If they're getting in the way of what I want to see, fights. I don't want to see business. I don't want to see you shining. I don't give a fuck if you're shining. If you're one of these fighters, it does nothing for me. Zero. And it's not like I'm hating on your shit, but at the end of the day, like I know fucking tons of dudes that are gonna eat fucking ramen noodles and fucking mustard on fucking Christmas Eve. Fuck, I give a fuck about you shining for. I'm not hating, bro. Like, fuck, if you earned it, you earned it. But if you're doing shit like fucking that doesn't merit pay-per-view and you're telling me to buy it, you're fucking you got another thing coming. And I'm gonna tell every motherfucker around me not to buy it too. Period. I think it would be bad advice to tell you to buy anything pay-per-view related, especially now. Shit, Mario Barrios versus Keith Thurman. Do you know what the fuck Mario Barrios looks like? And isn't Keith Thurman been on the shelf for like years? And you want me to pay, like, you don't want to build up anything with him, pay for him to fight Mario Barrios. Fuck out of here, bro. Like, yeah, like a lot of these fan bases that may get butthurt over this, like fucking it is what it is, bro. But y'all acting like heads. Y'all acting like straight heads, bro. Methadone. Diesel. Crackheads. Buying this shit, bro. Either y'all act like crackheads or y'all act like church attendees that can't see anything grimy that their pastors are doing. Let me read some of these comments. 2 L-File players. Send me the link. Oh, shit. Yeah, bro. I am going to send you the link. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm running out of shit to say, bro. So you came right on time. Yeah, links up, bro. This has got to be the take back. And honestly, too, a lot of the personalities online on YouTube, if you look at their numbers, like I mean, like I don't like to get into people's views and all the bullshit, but they're riveting more attention now. Like they don't have people that feel like fuck, this dude's like trying to sell me on some bullshit, or this dude's trying to convince me that fighter A or fighter B is doing anything like outstanding. These are the personalities online that are tearing down the boxing business. And it shows. I mean, people are showing them love. But at the end of the day, I mean, like, and a large reason why I came on here too is the people throwing up Jaron Ennis like as a opportunity for Bud to prove himself. Literally, bro. Literally. Be honest with you. If you're Errol Spence um fanboy that Errol Spence can't do no wrong, or if you're a content creator where Errol Spence can't do no wrong, there are many of you. If Errol Spence were to, I mean, or if Bud Crawford were to break fucking Jaron Ennis's arms in there from the ass whooping he gives him, what are y'all gonna say then? Literally, if Bud Crawford beat Wilder in the ring as his next opponent, y'all be like, yeah, but Wilder already lost. With that, my friends, I have one of my other long-term compadres straight out the shy. Give it up for my man Southpaw 773 TV, bro. Let the people know where we can find you. Yo, Southpaw, you there? Now I can hear you. Yo, I'm wondering if somebody came through and put music on my shit like fucking purposely. Whatever. But it is what it is, bro. And the only reason I'm even throwing that up is because you never know with these cats. LMAO, he came on just yeah. I figured it's a troll. Yeah, they're probably gonna bang on this video, fucking for some copyright shit if that was a troll. But it is what it is. Not gonna stop. Told you them MXB dudes. What's MXBC? What is that? MXBC? I don't know. That's whack anyway, though. I don't know if the MXBC dudes are have an affinity for Errol Spence. And I feel hurt about that. Forgive me. Fucking but it is what it is, man. Like it's a lot of dumb shit that's happening with boxing online. Period. And it's not the boxing business is just one faction or one small portion of what's happening with boxing as it pertains to the internet or online. Any asshole, any random asshole is going to take over the sport. Let me see. Some YouTube boxing group. The fuck? Like, how do I even register, bro? I got like 100 subs on this bitch. Like, fucking, like 20 views a video. Like, fucking, y'all coming through fucking with me, bro? What the hell? But, regardless, like, and crabby shit like that, like online. I mean, maybe they were feel a way about Errol Spence or Anthony Joshua, any other fighter I'm shitting on, which I'm shitting on every fighter right now. Again, even though like Bud Crawford is more pursuant of Errol Spence currently, has he done everything that I wanted to? Like fucking as far as him calling it out, in spite of the fact that Errol Spence was on PBC, like it would have been cool, like for Bud to try to run into Errol Spence every chance he got, even though some dick pullers online would have been like, oh, you can't be bothering a man like that. Like, just fuck up, bro. Shut up. But it would have been cool to see that. But at this stage, with the boxing call out game being fucking so whack right now, so whack. If it's one thing that Fury does have, it's a great call out game and it's a good ability to talk shit. I'm not a Fury fan, but at the end of the day, he's interesting and he seems combative in his verbiage. What's Errol Spence do? Emojis? Emojis. I've only used emojis to make fun of like fucking people that use emojis. And like nowadays, that's like some sort of stamp of approval on an insert on a fucking on an insult or some shit, or you really said something hitting, even though you said 2 or 3 words, like similar to what Errol Spence said. I'm doing all the heavy lifting with a fucking emoji. That's his statement of the year, bro. Like Errol Spence fans and all these content creators online are fucking dancing in the streets with that one little quote. Woo! You know that these content creators are gonna be saying heavy lifting. Oh, heavy lifting is gonna inject into the language of a lot of these content creators come 2022, guaranteed. Not one of these content creators have talked about like this Ugas versus Errol Spence fight and said, "Oh, well, I'm happy because of this," or "I'm happy because I think that this could happen." Not one of them. Now, could Ugas beat Errol Spence? Sure. I think Errol Spence's non-committal stance when it comes to the sweet science, um, you know, may hurt him, may show up at any fight as a detriment. Could it be against Ugas? Sure. Do I think so? No. Like fucking but how running into Ugas fight is a even mentionable is beyond me. And trust and believe that you're gonna hear this heavy lifting like fucking if you're running into an Ugas fight, in spite of the fact that you were open to fight anybody, and you pretty much were likely behind paying a commission to stop whoever the fuck Ugas was going to fight. I think his name is Stanionis. To pay for that so that you could rush into a fucking a fight with Ugas. That doesn't seem sus at all. And this is just recently. I mean, there's tons of other instances like fucking of Errol showing no commitment to making this fight with Bud Crawford. In fact, go listen to that press conference where he was drunk on the stage, making a fool of himself. People trying to cut him off like so he could stop his fucking buffoonery. One within that he mentioned Bud Crawford with like maybe twice within a fucking 5 minute drunken fucking babbling of the mouth where he mentions Bud Crawford fight, and even then it was non-committal. Go listen to it. If you go listen to that press conference where he was drunk at that post fight, you come away and tell me that he was who he sounded like he was calling out in that press conference. Who did it look like that? Like, or who did it seem that he wanted to fight in that press conference? Because the show the fuck wasn't Bud. It seemed a lot more that he wanted to fight Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, and Sean Porter in that press conference. Oh, but he was in PBC. Like, you can't cross the street on PBC. Bud's gonna have to cross the street. Like my man, in spite of the fact that Bud may or may have not had to cross the street, or that was a barrier as to not making the fight. That fight, Bud versus Errol, has been the fight. Been the fight since before Bud even got to fucking 147. Even more so than Bud versus Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman, or Bud versus Keith Thurman. You're talking about a champion, Keith Thurman. And whether or not that happened, or Keith Thurman versus whoever lost his luster because of Keith Thurman's injuries or being stripped or whatever the fuck have you. If Keith Thurman was a bigger fight versus Errol Spence than Bud versus Errol Spence was, that may have lasted for a couple months, if that. I don't think that was the case though. Errol versus Bud has always been the fight. A lot of Errol Spence's fan base demanded that Bud be free of Bob Arum. Bud just got free of Bob Arum. During that time, what does Errol do? Doesn't say shit about fighting Bud for almost a month. Likely paid a commission to stop that fight. And rushed into an Ugas fight. Yo, Mike, if you're there, fucking hit me in the comments first, man. I want to make sure I'm not hit me in the private chat. I mean, tell me what state you're from. I don't want to get my shit banged on. Damn, I can't believe these little herb ass dudes fucking killed my shit like that, bro. Dudes are so corny, bro. My bad, bro. I missed. Men lie, women lie, numbers lie. Facts from me. Uh, yeah, I've heard that a lot too, man. Even then, like when a lot of people use that quote, a lot of times it seems like it's not to make a fight. Usually, it's been used as a barrier to stop a fight. LaShawn McCall, even if Spence beats Ugas, he's going to Doug Bud. Oh, absolutely. Spence could fuck like they're gonna rush into a mandatory, guaranteed, bro. If all right, I'll put it like this: if Errol Spence rushes into a fight with Keith Thurman after he beats Ugas, will any of these channels, a single one of them, be like, all right, enough's enough, like fucking this bullshit? No, they're gonna tell you, oh, that's a big fight. That's a nice fight. He's doing all the heavy lifting, like fuck, like what? Yo, I just wanted to make sure that it was you, bro. If you use the stream, the link, fucking hit me in the private chat. I don't know if these like little herbs that came onto the video earlier, fucking made up a fake profile. Spence and Crawford been at it for 4 years plus, and a split always been the problem. Yeah, it has been this problem, but I mean, you know, at the end of the day, like fucking when you like the way Errol Spence, in addition to his fans, have presented it, I honestly think that Errol Spence threw up any numbers, like or like fucking that he's gonna get a bigger piece of the pie, like fucking because that was never like really a conversation, like fucking with with any of these other guys that Spence has fought or even when like the Wilder thing was the big debate online. It wasn't like a big thing like or a humongous thing about Wilder getting this percent or that percent until Wilder said like 50-50 a bust. And then I mean like at the end of the day it didn't net us the fight, but that was his stance and it is what it is. Southpaw, if that's you, bro, like fucking hit me in the private chat first. Put the first 3 digits of my phone number. That's really you in the private chat. Somebody nerf my shit. But they have been going at it for 4+ years. But who threw up like you say, Mike, like the split? It's me, man. Like the split. Who was the first one to throw it up? You know what I'm saying? It was Spence, seemingly from jump. Yo, it's me, 100. Yo, Southpaw, you're already in the private chat if it is you, bro. What's the first 3 numbers of my my phone number? And just in case, because I don't know if it's one of these little herbs trying to fucking knock my shit. In fact, bro, I'm probably gonna dead the link. Like, yo, if you're gonna narc my shit, like for one of these little herbs that fucking do cornball shit like that, like if you disagree with the fuck I'm saying, like fucking come on and trade jabs with me, like fucking on YouTube. Oh my god, such a big commitment. Like people are corny. But again, like the split was thrown up by who first? Or like, I never heard like Bud Crawford and a lot of his fan base. I mean, like his fan base that doesn't exist. Unless somebody's dissing Spence and then, oh, it's Bud sexuals. Like, who are these fucking Bud fans? You know how they are. Like, I don't even know of a big Bud faction like that. And like one of these dumb channels is, oh, well, you see this because Errol Spence got a faction. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Crawford could have said yes, just like Spence could have offered 50-50. Yeah, I mean, I agree in part. I think Spence should have offered 50-50. But that was never the case. I mean, like nobody online for the most part that is a defender of Errol Spence has like really like but broke down and said, you know what, like the 50-50 thing is like what's stopping the fight. Let's make it happen. Like let's push for Errol to try to go 50-50. Now, a lot of these fighters could do what they want, but if you demand that Errol Spence throws up 50-50, like fucking, and he doesn't follow through or uses the 60-40 or like the bullshit that he's already used for half a decade, then, you know, you have a new target. Then Errol Spence becomes your target. And like Errol Spence fighting Ugas at the end of the day, that no, I know he didn't offer 50-50, Mr. McCall. LaShawn, read it again. You know, and at the end of the day, you know, like when Errol Speeds beats Ugas, is that going to get us any closer? It's not going to be like, oh, well, like fucking, oh, take that 60-40 and you know, we'll just leave it at that. Yo, Southpaw, that shit ain't you. Like this other account that's claiming to be Southpaw in the private chat. Like Southpaw has my literal number. Like the and there's another cat called Boxing Update trying to jump on too. No, thank you, bro. but a lot of these channels that have seen like Errol Spence budge not one iota in supposed negotiations, in making it seem like, oh, I want this fight, but maybe this is stopping me. No, I don't think it's you, bro. The I think these dudes are shapeshifters, bro. These are trannies. These are YouTube trannies, bro. They change form like fucking up. Not you, Boxing Update. And again, Mr. Boxing Update. Much love for coming through today and being a riveted chatter within my chats, bro. But again, any asshole that comes through and takes any time to fuck with me, like for any portion of time, much love from me to you. But you know, we're not gonna get this fight. You know, Errol Spence could say after beating Ugas, it's not 60-40, it's 39 39 51. And if you believe that Errol Spence was 60-40 before this fight, are you gonna trip if you're a content creator or Bud Crawford, Errol Spence fanboy? Are you gonna trip if Errol Spence says, "Yo, I'm not fighting him because I thought it was 60-40 before, but now since I beat Ugas and got another belt, it's 39-51." Are you gonna be like, "Oh, well, you know, that's on Bud"? I think that'd be misdirected. I think that's a stupid thing to do. I think trying to, especially how the way a lot of these Spence fanboys talk, trying to make Bud Crawford cave in to whatever Errol Spence's demands, rather than Errol Spence saying like, you know what, let's just leave it straight up the middle, is going to be a lot harder. Trust me. And I'm not saying it like, oh yeah, like fucking, you get prepared for a long and drawn out negotiation. Like fucking, you'll see what Bud's gonna come up with next. He's gonna tell you to go fuck you. Like, nah, I don't want to see that. I want to see the fight. The fight. I don't want to see fucking Ugas fight anybody. Ugas fight my cousin, my favorite cousin. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see Bud fight fucking. I mean, would Jerome Ennis be a cool fight? Absolutely. Is Bud gonna fight him? Likely not. At fucking 24, which Ennis is right now, Errol Spence wasn't fighting the Phil LaGrecos of the world. Could Errol Spence, straight off a Phil LaGreco victory, could have jumped up and said, you know, I want to fight the whatever welterweight who has a belt at 147? Why would he take less than Spence when he's a 3 division champion? No, I don't advocate for him to take less, one iota. I rather just the fight be made. But if I'm saying like what's a bigger barrier, like Bud accepting 60-40 or Errol having to give up 50-50, it's definitely the 60-40 because Errol Spence in his whole ass ways threw that shit up, along with throwing up like the side of the street, along with throwing up like fucking running out of an arena for a guy who's your rival, along with fucking dancing with dudes. It's not the first bitch ass shit he's done. I mean, I should have been on the horn a lot more for like the stuff he's done along the years. Maybe I would have been out of more friends on YouTube boxing. God forbid. Oh, and trust and believe. Like since I started talking this way, I lost a couple of subs. And I know a lot of those subs were like long time like compatriots. I'll put it at 4. Like 4 dipped. I had like 116 subs, some shit. And then 4 dipped. But 4 of them dipped because I'm talking the way I'm talking now. Because since I've been back to YouTube, I'm talking the way I'm talking now. Like fucking nothing's changed. Like it's been more about like trying to get shit done rather than like fucking trying to say that Errol Spence is a bigger deal than Bud Crawford or vice versa. Neither one of these dudes ain't shit. Neither one of these dudes ain't shit. Neither one of these dudes could go anywhere and be recognized more than 3 or 4 times if they walk down any street, USA. Period. Spence only fights people who he's got some type of advantage over. Yeah, I mean, like, and Spence fights people not named Bud. I haven't given a shit about any of Errol Spence's prospective fights besides Bud. Keith Thurman like dodged them. I knew Errol Spence wasn't going to fight anybody that I gave a shit about besides Bud. Never gave a shit about Sean Porter's career. 0. And I think Sean Porter's a good fighter. Not the fight I want to see. Not what I'm waiting around for. Who has Crawford fought? Crawford's fought a decent amount of people, bro. Crawford's done it at many divisions. You can't shit on Crawford's resume without also shitting on Errol Spence's resume. If the money is the case when fighting Bud, he will make the most money. So come better than that. Then fighting Bud, he will make. Oh no, absolutely. Like Errol Spence is gonna sell 150,000 pay-per-views, if not less. And if I have any say in it, like that's all I'm gonna talk about on these fucking streams is that you guys shouldn't be paying for fights at all. And there's a benefit of it in this Bud versus Errol fucking debate in that Errol's next number could be a dud if you don't support it. Don't support it. Y'all act like Spence fought elite welterweights. Hells no, but not me. LOL. So by your standards, Bud can take the 60-40. In a sense, but like it's basically like fucking me telling you like, yo, I'm gonna give you a ride. But you better ride your ass in the back, like when I pick you up. I mean, you may feel a way about that. You may say like, fuck that, I'll walk better. Like I don't need a ride. And Errol Spence is thrown out fucking that 60-40 is the same shit. It's even worse than that, actually. That wasn't a good example for me. But Errol Spence is a hoe, bro. Period. So who is y'all weirdo? I literally said both could have took the deal. Bud fought an undefeated Gamboa, who at the time was better than all of Spence's opponents. That's true. No, but honestly, it's not. I mean, at this stage of the game, I'll field this question to you, Michael Johnson. At this stage of the game, you have to say like who's been doing more to not fight each other in 2021. If you say anything besides Errol Spence, then you're dead wrong or you're being biased. And at the end of the day, we can't be we can't allow shit to get in the way of these fights no more. When I met Michael Johnson boxing talking more, young, fucking vigorous. This motherfucker's like breaking down health wise, like fucking I'm fat. Like, bro, like how much I'm pretty sure that when I met Michael Johnson boxing talking more, that this Bud Crawford and Errol Spence thing was a thing. That existed. A lot has happened since then. 2 houses, fucking life, bodies breaking down. Still no fight. Still no closer. And with me now, I have my longtime compatriot, MJ Boxing Talking More. Let the people know where we can find you, brother.
At the Eat Better Tonight card place downtown where you get your food stamps. That's where you can find me.
Yo, cook for a little while. Let the people know your piece. I want to drink
Yeah.
something as well.
Well, the whole time I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to that other person on there. And because basically what I'm trying to tell the person is I don't care who should take what. I just want to see the fight. And and far as my stance is concerned, as far as who did what belts person has, who they fought, how much money they made, how much money they still been making, all the way until now, and the president doesn't fucking matter. Anybody could have said yes to anything that day when they were whatever they were negotiating, a phone call or whatever. They could have did with Earl could have gave 50-50. Crawford could have took the 60-40. And people can say, well, you shouldn't take the 50-50. 50, that's not none of your fucking business. It's not none of your damn business. It's like we all want to see the fight. I mean, are you going to be boo-hooing about if Crawford did take 60-40? You gonna be crying about that? Like,
I don't agree, but the other brother that just came through the box, I can't see the rest of your name. I'm sorry, bro. But with the San Diego hat, what it is, bro. Let the people know where we can find you, or let the people know who you are.
you on mute. He was on mute. So yeah. But like I really honestly don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? That's really my stand. It's either these guys make this fight or not, and that's it. I see the LaShawn McCall has a lot to say and stuff like that, but
no, hold on. Before you go dissing LaShawn McCall, because I'm actually agreeing with
no,
a lot
I'm not dissing the person. I'm just saying
Before
what
you
I got
diss
to say.
his point, answer my question that I said before. Who you think in 2021 has contributed more? And you got to pick an answer. Like none of this centrist.
No, I don't have to pick an answer because
It got to be a name, bro. A
no,
name.
no, I already know you. I already know what your question is. I already heard it. I don't care. I
Nah, but
really
that's not an
honestly
answer
don't.
though.
No, I'm not going to answer it because I
Then
don't care.
everything LaShawn McCall is saying is pretty much up the middle and right.
And that could be fine. But at the end of the day, if we're boxing fans and all we're doing is just watching to see who's out there talking the most about making a fight, but ain't busting no moves, it don't matter. He could have took his 60-40. Earl could have gave the 50-50. And now we're asked out because two dudes want to be stingy and hold out on some 10%.
So what if Errol comes in after his next fight and says, listen, then I don't think I deserve 60-40 no more. I think I should deserve 70-30.
I don't but that's the thing. I don't care
Who
what
then?
they do.
No. Who then? My question would still stand. Then who then would you feel would be contributing more to the not making this fight? As far
I
as
mean, haven't we seen
Bud
fighters take
Crawford
less?
or Errol Spence Jr.?
But haven't we seen fighters take less?
Bud Crawford or Errol Spence Jr.?
If a fighter comes out there and say I'm willing to do everything to make the fight, and they don't do everything to make the fight, especially over 10%, then obviously both sides don't want to make the fight right now.
But I don't think, honestly, Mike, I've been chopping it up with you for years. I don't think that you felt that way when it was Deontay.
Oh yeah, I did. I said on the Smoke City Mobcast. I said they both duck it. I said it a long time ago. The last time,
and honestly,
like 3 years ago.
No, and honestly, Errol Spence Jr. versus Bud Crawford is nowhere near the fight that Anthony Joshua Wilder was. And Anthony Joshua had a ton of options, it seemed, because he was still selling out stadiums. He was still making money. Errol Spence ain't making no fucking big bread like that to be ducking any fight that makes big money or that matters. Ugas doesn't matter. An Ugas fight with Errol Spence doesn't matter. Errol Spence don't fucking matter. Neither do Bud Crawford. Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford matters a lot. Everything outside of that.
But we know that. But we know that. And it's the same thing. And it's the same thing with the Anthony Joshua Wilder thing.
But there's the same thing with that. In this equation that used every excuse under the sun, from the fact that he's on the wrong side of the street, also including the fact that fucking he got to take 60-40, also including that I'm gonna take the easy route. He's gone on people's fucking channels and said that he's gonna take
but that's what I'm saying. On my part, from my perspective, it doesn't matter.
All that stuff doesn't matter. In the history of boxing has ran out of
but has Crawford
said that I'm gonna take the easy route.
But has Crawford ever said he wanted to fight? Has Crawford ever said he wanted to fight?
A whole heck of a lot.
Okay.
As far as
so why didn't he take the 60-40 if he really wanted to fight?
Peep game though. As far as boxers nowadays, what equates to a call out is fucking an emoji. Like Bud's doing more than that. Errol Spence is doing the emoji bullshit.
Who cares?
Doing significantly more than that. I mean, like, and Bud's not like I don't take Bud as like a outgoing and fucking social butterfly and wants to be in front of cameras all the time. And I don't think Errol's that guy either. But the little that I see as far as trying to make this fight happen, Errol Spence has done nothing. Zero.
But that's the thing. Like that's what I keep trying to tell you. Is that as far as where I sit and how I view it, this has been going on for four or five plus years. And it's always been the same thing. Crawford has done more. Errol has done more. Who's calling who out? Blah, blah, woo, woo, woo. Why is Crawford not doing interviews? Why is Crawford not saying this and doing that? You know what I'm saying? 4 or 5 plus fucking years.
No, but I think honestly, like what you
hold up, because I ain't done yet.
No, but real quick, I'll let you get your point off. No, but what you listed there, like, was a lot of the content that you and I both used to listen to. I no longer listen to. I don't know if you do, but that's what dumb dudes were saying. Like, that's what a lot of these cats were saying. Like, oh, Bud don't do no interviews. A lot of like the hate that's emanating online is probably has a little bit to do with that. Maybe some other cats convince.
But I don't care what they're saying. That's the thing. I've been trying to tell folks from day one. From day one since I've been on YouTube, I ain't never picked a side on who's ducking with this category because I already knew this was going to be the same thing over and over again.
We shouldn't be happy with that. We should be tearing. We shouldn't be happy with that. We shouldn't accept that.
No, but
we got to tear this sport down to its goal.
But people are sitting up over here knowing now well what's going to be the outcome. Most likely it's going to be the same situation next year, like it's been going on 4 or 5 plus fucking years. You know what I'm saying? With these two guys, and then we're going to say, oh, no, you know what? I'm going to side with Crawford because he's doing this and the third, and shit on Errol Spence when it's both of them. It's like you cannot put.
No, it's one far more though. That's what I'm saying.
You cannot put all the level of degree of fuckery on one fighter and not give it to the other because they.
I don't. I'm pretty with it with mine. I'm pretty open with mine. I've said that Bud Crawford hasn't contributed as much as I would like to try to make this fight happen. Neither. But at the end of the day, does that mean like Bud Crawford got to kiss the rings? Like these assholes be talking online? Not one bit. Like that's like I mean when it came to Eddie Hearn throwing those offers out to Wilder, like motherfuckers got onto some bullshit ass like fucking wannabe like conscious talk like, oh well these motherfuckers are treating these dudes like fucking slaves. Like yo, like my man, it's not that kind of party. So what the fuck happening? Where's that like coming from with fucking with Bud? Like why the hate? Because I mean seemingly like a lot of these people that are shitting on Bud or that are making excuses for Bud, not you, like that are making content like saying like how this fucking Ugas fight, oh much love to fucking Ugas getting that chance, like anybody gives a shit. Like I forgot the point I was gonna make, bro. I had a great point to make, bro, and it fucking just left me. But
I mean, what Errol is doing, this is what I told folks a long time ago. Whatever these fighters choose to take, that's their motherfucking business. Whatever they feel that they can dish out is their fucking business. It's either you take it or it's either you take it or leave it. And Errol Spence is doing the same thing that Anthony Joshua did to Wilder. The same damn thing. Basically, what he's saying is, if you don't want to take what I have to offer, there's other fights that I can have. I can move up, blah, 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 woo, woo, woo. And if you don't want to take it, then I just bounce around. And it's been going on for 4 or 5 years. And at the same time is now, because I'm trying to stay away from trying to make my argument without sitting up over the pocket watching, because I know more about a little bit more about what Errol Spence has made than some people up over here with actual fucking proof, that I can show. But I'm not trying to do that. Basically, what I'm trying to say is he's comfortable with, and he's been comfortable with making the millions of dollars that he's been making per fight. He's comfortable with.
What ain't?
No, I'm trying to get both arguments of the side. I'm not just trying to make one argument for the other and then just diss the other guy. It's a negotiation. Either side could have fucking gave in and to make this fight, but nobody did. And I wonder why. Is it marinating? Are they waiting?
No.
Because
I know why.
Because
don't need to wonder. Because Errol Spence is a big pussy.
No, it's Errol.
It's Errol.
It's 60-40.
It's absolutely Errol.
You mean to tell me if you was looking around on who you gonna fight, if you was to beat Errol Spence Jr. and make more money than you ever had made in your life, and then maybe possibly even quadruple your fight proceeds per fight by beating Errol Spence Jr., you're not going to take that 10%. And it's the same thing for Errol, because guess what? Canelo is not worried about them. See what I'm saying?
Why don't that shit just start off at a negotiation of 50-50 rather than a negotiation of, it's either 50-50 or Bud should just cave in and take the 60-40. The negotiation started at
that's what I'm saying. But that's what
Errol
I'm saying.
Spence hasn't done dick more.
But that's what I'm saying.
1% more than Bud Crawford.
If that fight was to go to purse bid, if Errol Spence and Crawford was to go to purse bid,
I'm not talking about none of that.
No. Because that's what you want to take this argument to. So if
I don't want to take that. I'll never mention Crawford.
I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, if Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Bud Crawford was to go to a purse bid, who would get more money?
Doesn't matter. I don't care.
No.
I don't know, and I don't care.
It does matter because that's
a barbershop conversation argument, bro. I don't do that shit.
It's based off of the person's last few fights and what they got.
No fight of this magnitude should go to a purse bid.
No, I'm just saying hypothetically
off a bum fight.
Hypothetically speaking, I'm using that as a tool to show you that obviously one is getting paid more than the other. And it's the same thing with Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder.
No. But at that time, check it out. How much more? Like, if you had to put a number on it, how much more you think Anthony Joshua was making than Deontay Wilder when this was a big debate? A ton more, probably twice more per fight.
But that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter of the amount. It doesn't matter of the amount or all that.
Why bring it up? If the amounts don't matter, don't bring that.
No,
then
it
it's not a
does.
point.
It does. Obviously, the fight ain't being made, so it does.
Yeah, but who's throwing out numbers? Period. Who's starting with all this shit? Who's like? There's somebody within this predicament, regardless of like whether it would go to a commission, whether it would be on another promotion, whether it's on another network. Who's even mentioning these hurdles? Who's the first boxer ever to mention these hurdles like that? Oh, I can't fight this guy because I'm on Showtime Fox. Oh, I can't do like this guy's on the other side of the street. I understand if other side of the street fights don't ever get made, but they just got made a couple months ago. The biggest fight of the year was fucking crossing the street with Wilder and fucking.
Yeah, but PBC's PBC been doing that, doing fights like that. It ain't just been one. So let's keep that straight. You know what I'm saying?
But who's throwing that?
PBC, they've been making fights throughout the year.
Not only is Errol Spence throwing up these excuses, he's the innovator, the inventor.
Look, I'll put it like this: if
wrong side of the street was a term first used by who? Errol Spence
If you want
Jr.
to call themselves, if you want to call
Blame
them
Bob.
excuses,
Hold
if
on,
you
hold on.
want
Blame Bob. Even though Bob made fights with PBC, Blame Bob was a phrase invented by Errol Spence Jr. What else? Fucking Easy Route was a fucking phrase famously made by Errol Spence Jr. This has happened like the last 3 or 4 years. My man been fronting, steady fronting. And the biggest of all, no talk, zero talk. There was no talk. Hold on. There was no talk, 000 talk of Bud Crawford fighting Errol Spence in this last month before this announcement came for Ugas versus Errol Spence. In spite of the fact that Errol Spence ditched his promoter. Now some people are saying, oh, like he couldn't make that fight with Errol Spence without no promoter. Like fucking, you don't know business if you don't know that. Like, all right, bro. Like, yo, like motherfuckers will change it up like with the drop of a dime. And the thing is too, these other channels will try to front on you and like, not you particularly, Mike, but these other channels are gonna try to front on you and try to make you look this way when fucking shit's staring at you this way. Like, I'm not gonna do that here. If anybody got a fucking problem with that, I'm right here for any motherfucker. Like fucking, I'll debate this shit with anybody. In fact, I have like, it's not a big deal to debate me. I don't got no problems with no fucking content creator. But you ain't gonna play me off position either. You ain't gonna tell me to look that way while I'm looking this way. You're not gonna tell me that I'm trying to shit on the brothers. Like if I don't want a fucking that like fucking I'm shitting on brothers now. Like fucking because I'm going at Errol Spence. If I am, fuck him. At the end of the day, bro, I don't care if it was a dude in fucking white robes saying that this shit is like not happening and it's taking too long. If he's saying the truth, he's saying the truth. And another thing too, like fucking people know where I'm at in real life. Like fucking we need to talk. We need to talk. You ain't gonna talk to me. Not gonna happen. Like fucking you'll do shit online, not you. Like fucking like people that have recently like fucking had a hard time with what I'm saying. Like fucking, I'll spell it out for you very plainly. Like Errol Spence is fucking bitch made. I'm not coming online because I'm fucking infatuated with fucking with the idea of trying to take Errol Spence down a peg or two. No, I'm fascinated with the idea that boxing should be the biggest sport in the world. At one point, boxing was the biggest sport outside of horse racing. Boxing's been the biggest sport in the history of this country, history of the world probably. But these weak dudes are killing it. Weak dudes are killing it. Right now, what we have in boxing is the equivalent of mumble rappers and rap in the rap game, if not worse. In fact, it's very on par. Any mumble rapper like fucking that's light skin or white could fucking be a top seller. Like fucking throw him in with Drake and like all of a sudden he's a star. Like fucking tight jeans, dissing women all the time, don't want to be around girls. Like fucking same shit as these fucking boxers. Boxers trying to be rappers like nowadays. Like these dudes,
but that's what I'm saying is like, I'm not me personally. This is all for me. I don't care what everybody else is saying. Me personally, like, dude, like I'm not gonna sit up over here and pick a side between these guys when this shit's been going on 4 or 5 fucking years. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I respect your opinion, Mike. And I got love for you. And I respect your opinion, and I got love for you.
I don't.
But at the end of the day,
you don't gotta like my opinion. Like, let me spit it out. Because
I got a good point to add to that, though. So go ahead.
It's been 4 or 5 years. Like, these guys saying this and saying that. It doesn't matter if it's Bob, Errol, Crawford. It doesn't matter. It takes 2 to negotiate. It takes 2 to tangle. And if you said it out loud, I don't know if they talked on the phone. I don't know how they did it or whatever the case may be. But everybody knows what it is. Now, do I think it's a form of marination? Yes, I do think it's a form of marination. But at the end of the day, us sitting up over here arguing about who's ducking who or who's the asshole of the matter or who it is and stuff like that, it's not going to get the fight made. It's definitely not. You know what I'm saying? Because these two, no, it's not. Because these two dudes, they know what they already got their mind made up.
One got their mind made up as 50-50, and the other one got their mind up as 60.
No. I'll show you how it could have changed. I don't think it. I think I'll show you how it could have changed immediately. Once Errol Spence announced that Ugas was gonna fight fucking or that he was gonna fight Ugas rather than fighting Bud Crawford, if 2 or 3 big channels would have played things out and said the truth, like, listen, we don't fucking want this Ugas fight. Just say you don't want the Ugas fight. That alone would give Errol pause.
No, it wouldn't have. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it wouldn't have. I'm gonna tell you why.
No. You know why? You know why? Because if I when I would pull up to my little group of friends, which were about 25 on 45th Street and 6th Avenue, and everybody was fucking saying some stupid shit. If one person would say, yo, like, fucking buckle up, motherfuckers, like, yo, this shit ain't going down like this, or fucking, you got to take notice. You either say, yo, like,
no,
fuck we're going to do what we got to do, or, like, you could stop a whole group of people, like, by just putting one different idea out there. When Errol Spence knows that every one of these channels are going to give him coverage, like, fucking, regardless of what he does, regardless of what he's been doing for years, then what's the pressure on him as far as YouTube goes? And I think the new media is a big deal. I think the new media is a humongous deal.
Okay.
But right now, the new media is fucking worse than the old media.
Okay.
The new media is filled with fucking cheerleaders. The new media is fucking filled with race baiters. The new media is filled with fucking dick riders. The new media is filled with dudes that are worried about pocket watching. New media is dudes that are 40 that listen to mumble rappers. Still, I'd rather not listen to rap at all than listen to mumble rap. These fucking new media cats are dick riding these 20-year-old rappers. Are dick riding these 20-year-old fights that ain't doing dick. Not one fight is doing anything that matters.
Okay, so let me say this then. Boxing is so much bigger than people running their mouth on YouTube, first of all. And there's people already out here on YouTube that don't give a fuck that's gonna buy that pay-per-view or already. You know what I'm saying? Ugas suspense. And none of these, people are already saying they will. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you went around and watch these people's channels and stuff like that and see what people are saying on Twitter. People are going to buy that pay-per-view. Now, there's a lot of people going to buy it. I don't know. But the thing, what I'm trying to say is, people on YouTube, not one time have they ever made a fight. People can sit up over there and run their mouth and say they did to try to.
You don't know that, though.
I know that for a fact because everything is just fucking coincidence. People can sit up over here and run their damn mouth all
Mike, you can't say that, bro.
Hold up, man, because I let you let me go on and say
one ripple in the pond could fucking cause a tsunami elsewhere.
Let me go on and say what I got to say. You said yours, so let me go on and say mine.
But you speaking around shit though, Mike.
No, I'm not.
You're not taking a position on nothing, like,
because it's a fact. It's like literally a fact. When you look at boxing, you look at people talking on YouTube, and how many people that actually show up and watch these fights. A lot of people are not on YouTube.
Who?
A lot of people are literally not on YouTube. A lot of these people these fly-by-night fans and stuff like that show up for these fights, that you never heard of before and stuff like that. A lot of these cats are not on YouTube.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like,
trying to say is, at the
having
end of the day,
gaggle of people like talking to you.
At the end of the day, in my opinion, I do not think 2 big channels on YouTube telling it like you would want to tell it is going to make this fight happen.
It would help more. It would help to know that somebody, rather than that person constantly providing cover for you, like a lot of these channels do for Errol Spence, provide constant favorable coverage, no negative coverage for Errol Spence. God forbid, superstar, like fucking welterweight, fucking world champion Errol Spence Jr. taking on superstar, God's gift to the green earth, the fucking from the planet of Krypton, like fucking Ugas is gonna, and a lot of people wanted to see Bud Crawford, some guy, some champion, whatever, fight, but no big deal. But he's gonna fight Ugas. He's gonna fight Ugas, people. Like fucking, that's what you're getting. If one of those channels were to revert, I'm not gonna say that it's gonna change the landscape altogether. But then Errol Spence may know, or he may not know, that one person that is constantly giving him coverage change their stance. If not, stop providing coverage. If not, started dissing them. It is what it is. And you think that these boxers don't know like who these YouTubers are? I beg to differ, because I've seen a lot of these boxers' camps contact some fucking regular ass YouTube.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, but I don't think they care. Earl
That's
already
what
knows.
they say.
I'm pretty sure Earl knows this
These
Ugas
sensitive
fight.
ass dudes, bro.
I'm
I
pretty
beg to
sure
differ.
Earl already knows this
You
Ugas
give too
fight
much credit
is
to
not what people like.
you give too much credit to these people.
I'm not giving credit to nobody. That's what I'm doing. I'm not giving credit to nobody. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure Earl already know this Ugas fight is not all that as far as when it comes to it being a pay-per-view. I'm pretty sure he knows.
And I want Tyrone to make his next point, but let me just sneak one more point in there. There was a time when this Anthony Joshua versus Wilder debate was happening.
I didn't care.
Where Wilder, where Blue Blood Sports TV and the guy from that Latin cat, I think from uptown here in New York, I forget his name. He got a big channel too. But where they pulled up on Eddie Hearn, like at a press conference, and I don't even think that neither one of them dudes said nothing like too fantastic. Or when Fred ran up on fucking on Eddie Hearn, I think those little moves alone, which probably lasted like 3 minutes total, had like I'm not saying that they fucking made a fight happen off the rip, but shit started happening around that time. You know, the Zone all of a sudden wanted a meeting with Wilder. Like,
No.
I mean, it's not at the end of the day. Did we get the fight? No. But is it better than fucking saying, "Oh, I'm doing the heavy lifting," or going to fight Ugas?
It didn't happen like that, but okay.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it happened like that verbatim or like that. It broke down exactly that way. But these dudes, if they're contacting like little channels that we know, if these boxing camps are wasting their time trying to convince these little channels that we know, you better believe that they're probably listening to YouTube.
Well, after the disaster which we saw with, it's really kind of changed my opinion about it. I'd rather, honestly,
hold on, bro.
side.
Nah, I said I wanted you to get your point off. Do not bring this into some long tirade.
No. I'm just saying.
Regarding the Wilder
after
situation,
disaster, to bend over for dumb fuck fans, you know, to cause such a devastation. It doesn't even look worth it really anymore. Like, I mean, I can see why managers navigate and swerve certain things. Boxing is a mugs game, like Eubank Sr. said, right? And boxing is a joke. That's why I don't really care about looking forward to big fights or pushing guys to make big fights. They'll make the big fights when they want to and how they want to do it. The fans are just collateral damage. If you're an old school fan in this day and age, it's just not gonna pan out for you.
No, I mean, and they got all the power in the world and all the liberty in the world to do that.
Exactly.
You know, I would never stop a man from trying to hustle, but I'll break a man's arm for trying to hustle me, and I'll convince everybody and their mother for a slickster trying to hustle the world. And PBC and all the rest of these promoters are a bunch of fucking slicksters. They're thieves, you know. And you have a chance to now steal off them. Go do it. Boxing burglars in the building. Steal every fight. Pay for nothing. You taking money out of brother's pocket? Fuck him. That brother can see you drowning pissed. Like,
advertising for them.
I'll steal the next Puerto Rican fight that comes up, bro. Like, fucking none of them are worth shit anyway. I don't think they're gonna throw a Puerto Rican fight on pay-per-view. Stealing this shit.
Even the streaming is a net benefit for them in some way as well.
Cool. I'll give them the benefit. I'm not gonna give them the monetary benefit. They could kiss my ass. They're never getting a dime from me. I'd rather go to fights, which I'm not gonna go to fights either. Like fucking you would catch great fights in person that aren't these top level joints that are fucking just as action packed for like $40. Great seats. Fuck these boxers, bro. Like fucking, if you want to support boxer, go do that. Support the lower tiers. These other divas, everybody at welterweight, don't deserve a dime, including Bud. But Errol Spence is target number one.
I never I don't know why. Like, you've definitely been on the attack.
Oh yeah,
against him. I mean, he's the most monotone. When I look at him, I just laugh. He's funny to me. Like,
he's the most vanilla character, and he's not deserving of maybe the verbal battering that I'm throwing in his direction because I'm loud where he may not be loud. But Errol Spence is the epitome of what's rotting the sport right now. Somebody who's not
How?
really making big bread like that, and who's fucking ducking big
Ducking
money fights
who?
that are right in front of you. You know, and at the end of the day, you know, again, it's not, you know, I don't even want to make it a philosophical thing, like, well, they're not going to earn our dollar, because I think ultimately people would like break down and like, fucking, I'm not doing nothing this Saturday, so let me just order the fight. No. Watch the fights. The fights are there for you. HD, crack streams. Shout out to Ty. Fucking,
No, but this shit is. I don't know if you got on the wagon too late. I've been streaming since I was 12. It's not a big deal.
no,
and
but
it's
now,
not very hard,
like
right? That's not the focus of any of this, correct?
No. I think mass streaming. I think if half the people knew how easy it was to stream fights, half
They know
these
how to
numbers
do
be
it.
cut in half. If those numbers are cut in half, which they ain't shit right now, 200, 300,000 pay-per-views
Mhm.
that Errol Spence is pumping out right now ain't shit. Zero. I would never use that number to try to like shit on somebody else. That's like trying to stunt because you bought a new Honda. Like fucking but these dudes want to throw it up. Like, all right, then fucking if Bud is making 90 now, Bud's making 45K pay-per-view. But we're gonna cut Errol's in half too.
And
By
if you get the fight,
pardon me?
then what?
I'm sorry.
I'm asking a great question here. If you get the fight, then what?
If I get the fight,
Then what?
I'm not gonna buy that shit either.
I know,
My
but then
thing is-
what? The fight's done. You get your result. Then what?
That, I mean, it'll be a good thing for the sport. I think a real superstar is born, not a bullshit fucking YouTube superstar, or not somebody who they're trying to convince you
That's
in a
not
superstar
true.
on YouTube.
That's
I
not
think it
true
would
at
be.
all.
Who
That's
would be
not
a
true at
bigger
all.
fighter if Errol Spence were to beat Bud Crawford 3 times in a row? He wouldn't be a big superstar or a real superstar. I think he'd get it at 1, but he'd be nipping Canelo's ass if he were to beat Bud Crawford 3 times back to back. Am I lying?
He won't be a superstar.
Is Canelo a superstar?
Yeah, but he has a different cult
I'm telling you
following
right now. No, I agree. He has the Spanish people behind him.
He has
I'm
a
telling you right now. If
he has a
Bud
whole
Crawford-
nation. He has
if
a whole
Errol-
solid nation behind him, a
Okay.
whole country. You know,
if Errol
and-
Spence were to beat Bud Crawford 3 times in a row, and at the end of that, he was per se 34 years old. He's 31 now. Errol Spence would be nipping at fucking Canelo's heels. Mark my words. And in spite of the fact that he should have did this 2 years ago, this process should have already started at his 28 when he was 29, 28. Like fucking but he, in spite of all that, in spite of the fact that at the end of that he'll still be 34 years old.
I don't think
pretty much the same age as
Canelo
Canelo.
cares.
He'd be nipping
Canelo-
on Canelo's
Canelo
heels.
fights
He'd be
who he
bigger than
wants to
Anthony
fight
Joshua.
anyway, so-
He'd be bigger than Tyson Fury. He'd be bigger than Deontay Wilder. Like fucking whoever is the victor of that fight, especially Errol Spence. Now that's not. Oh well, you see, you know, like fucking. I'm not saying Errol Spence because he's a bigger deal that he would be a bigger star after the fact. I'm just saying it because Errol Spence is a little younger. Bud Fury beats Errol Spence 3 times in a row. At the end of that, he'll be 36 at best, 37, 38. I mean, it's kind of like a wasted opportunity. But,
You said you said that if Crawford beats Spence, he'll be on the heels of being a Canelo. I don't think you should understand.
No,
right?
no, not
It's still a niche sport. Boxing is a niche sport. Boxing will not stop being a niche sport until I'm dead. That's
What do you
50,
mean by
60, 70, 80 years from now.
Yeah.
Superstars or stars in this sport mean nothing for the general populace.
Doesn't matter
These
though.
guys are
but
just stars within a sport of guys who are just fans or follow.
In spite of the fact that it's a niche sport, he could nip at the heels of Canelo with acumen like that. The fact that he hasn't lost. The fact that he beat like the boxer's boxer. The fact that he's a boxer.
But Crawford was already undisputed, and also,
Right.
and also, you know, Canelo could pick and choose just the same way at the tail end of Pacquiao's career who he fights. It's like if Canelo don't want to fight him.
Forget that I mentioned Canelo. Forget that I mentioned Canelo. Like, I'll put it like this: if Errol Spence beats Bud Crawford, It would
Mhm.
be 90 times a bigger deal than him beating fucking Ugas, than him beating Danny Garcia, than him beating Mikey Garcia.
All right.
Nobody gives a fuck about these fights that he's had, but they're being used as a barrier to make the only fight that matters, which is Bud Crawford. Any other talk that's not towards that or pushing that direction towards Bud Crawford to Errol Spence means dick to me. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you never know, like what it like fucking how these things break out. Like fucking Errol Spence could get fucking some pop starlet pregnant at the end of those 3 fights, or fuck a Kardashian, he'd be a fucking superstar. Would Errol Spence get noticed by a Kardashian at this point? Maybe that tranny that fucking that had the sex change, but besides that, fucking nobody's noticing what these dudes are because they're not doing anything noticeable. They're not even doing anything noticeable to boxing fans. And any boxing fan that convinces you on this platform or any other that anybody's doing anything commendable in boxing right now, particularly Errol Spence, who's had a fucking lackluster, medium ass, vanilla, fucking number 2 at McDonald's career. They're
Really?
lying with you.
We've got plenty of guys at heavyweight for one, and other weight divisions who are way. It's not as bad as it's made. I mean, Spence, I don't mind him. I think he's funny. You know, I like it. You know, the way he walks around his face, he's just like, kind of bored of everything. He gets in there, he does his thing. If the fight happens, the fight happens. Mike, I've got to give it up to him, has shaped my thinking of the sport right now as far as getting the fights I want to see. He's totally made me give up on that and see the light to all of this. Because once I see things, it's okay if one thing doesn't go my way, but a tumble of stuff, why push it? You know, they'll make the fight when they make the fight, and there's so much more to lose in this game than there is to win, to be honest with you.
No, that's a thought that fighters should consider. I'm a jackass who's fucking burning away at this house in front of a fucking stack of Poland Spring bottled waters. I don't give a fuck what these.
Yeah, I know, and they don't care about you either.
No,
Yep.
that's the thing,
So it's a stalemate.
No, but at the end of the day, I mean, like Errol Spence or his fucking his horde online ain't gonna convince me that Errol Spence, who you just described as a pretty vanilla, nondescript fucking nobody, because he is a fucking nobody.
I mean, he's a cool guy to me. I don't know why you hate him so much.
There's tons of dudes that are anywhere you go.
I hate Fury,
Errol
but
Spence's
I always give Fury credit in that he's funny. He's a funny
Errol
guy.
Spence's career, his stage presence, everything about him is But when certain people try to throw it up and say that Errol Spence's is fucking nothing to Bud Crawford, to like fucking then that's the problem. And the thing is too that, you know, trust and believe, Mike and Tyrone, that I still go to a lot of the same channels I've been going to. And you see fucking clowns in the chats, clowns that make fucking content like that. I'm sorry to beat a dead horse, like fucking like that clown ass dude I am ill will, like fucking I saw him chat like in a chat. I just peeked for 1 second and he said like man, Bud doing all this shit, fuck Bud, like my man, like yo, like pretty much like fucking what is Bud done? Like I don't know what he was leading up to, but like that was just the gods putting one comment in my face as it was happening amongst thousands. Not that I was looking for him or gunning for him. Fuck that dude. But you know, that's how these dudes think. Man, fuck this dude. But like Bud is irredeemable. Bud could teleport in front of them. They're gonna be like, what kind of car? Yeah, but he don't got no car. Bud could fucking beat Wilder, and they're gonna say, oh, Wilder got beat already. You know, fucking Bud could detach fucking Jaron Ennisol. You know, he's fucking going the easy route. He's picking off these young guys. There's no way that they're gonna come off of like I'm telling you right now, if Errol Spence at the end of this says that it's 60-40 or no fight, they're not gonna say, all right, fuck it, you know, Errol Spence ain't moving off his position. So maybe I think that he's being irrational, like with him asking for 60-40. They'll never mention that because they haven't mentioned that. They've had 3 or 4 years to mention that once. Have they? No, they're not going to. Errol Spence could murder a kid. They're not going to say nothing bad. They're going to say the kid fucking was possessed. You know, it is what it is with these guys, bro. Like, at the end of the day, I noticed that maybe a lot of these content creators path to easy success is just being one-sided on certain things and just speak into a echo chamber, and that's I guess that's your hustle. You know, no matter what, if you say you fucking love Trump or you hate Trump, you're gonna have people that love you. If you love a certain fighter and hate a certain fighter, you know, you're gonna have a large contingent. I don't want to be that dude, bro. I'm not gonna be that dude. Teofimo's from my hood. I think Teofimo, as far as what he's done in the rear, in the ring, is commendable. It's not fucking like, oh god, like I'm gonna try to convince you about Teofimo. It's from my hood. I'm not gonna come out here capping for the dude. If I feel he's ducking, and Teofimo has been ducking, then I think he's a ducker. I'm not gonna try to convince nothing otherwise. I'm playing it up the middle with everybody, and I think playing it up the middle and not giving any of these fighters like any credit because they're not doing anything right now. Out of the ring, in the ring, they're not characters. They're fucking corny. They're watching paint dry. Their personalities are like dry dog shit. Like fucking none of them are bringing any new eyes to the sport. And it's not just about bringing new eyes to the sport. It's about the survival of the sport. Good fights are good fights no matter what. People are gonna watch good fights no matter what. Ward versus God damn it, the guy from Jersey City. Help me out, Ty. Fucking
Rodriguez.
No, Mickey Ward.
Oh, I thought you said Andre Ward.
No,
Mickey Ward versus Arturo Gotti.
Yeah, it's always gonna be a stop by fight. You could play that fight in any garage or some shit, and people are gonna stop to watch. But those events don't happen. Like fucking and those events are bigger with bigger implications. Right now,
yeah, that's cool but it's like cool for us. But you also have to think from their point of view. I mean, Mickey Ward, I haven't heard him recently, but does he has some speech impediments from all the wars he's been in. Gotti is dead. I mean, it's like,
Bro,
you know,
I was literally fucking when I was born, I was fucking in a laundry basket, my first bed. I give a fuck about Mickey Ward if his brain looks like fucking eggs.
I know you don't.
I give a shit about any of these dudes, bro. These dudes
I know
are
you
here to
don't,
entertain
and they
me.
don't about you.
Life
Either.
is short, bro. I may fucking die from gonorrhea of the dick. Like fucking who gives one shit, bro? At the end of the day, these dudes entertain me.
You know what you should get? You should get Fight Night Champions and play that, or UFC 4 or something.
Already did it when I used to
all
play
your best matchups on there.
No, but I mean, honestly, I rather that the boxing landscape, as far as the people that consume this fucking shit product, start talking the way I'm talking more, and I think it's gonna happen no matter what. People are not gonna fucking co-sign these pay-per-views that are thrown at them.
But that's the thing. That's the thing about people. I don't think a lot of people are out there really saying things because they just want people to ride for one fighter or the other. I think it's genuinely their opinion on how the way they see it, and I don't agree with what you're saying. Some people will agree with you. I mean, who knows? Maybe a lot of people would agree with you. But that's the thing. People have their opinions on this matter, and I gave my opinion on the matter. And like Tyrone said, this type of shit, these fighters are going to put on these fights when it's right for them, not right for us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And, these promoters and these managers and these networks, they're the ones who really know how much the fight is really worth, how much these fighters are really worth. Because they're the ones who actually give them these contracts. You know what I'm saying? And they're the ones who's been calculating money.
There's no way.
Hold up.
Fight is any bigger today, tomorrow, than it's gonna be than it was.
Come on, man. You gotta stop doing that though. You want to talk for like a good 5 minutes, and I can't even get 2 minutes. Come on, bruh.
But what I'm saying, Mike, is that this fight can't be marinated anymore. And in a perfect world, we'd have the fight 3 times.
Obviously, the fighting happened.
But logistics on its own, age on its own, is not going to allow this fight to happen 3 times. Right?
No, it doesn't. The age ain't nothing but a number. You know what I'm saying? Those 2 guys came out of the same year group in boxing. That age thing don't matter. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is that, like I said before, at the end of the day, either one of them, I don't care how They did the negotiations, whether or not it was out in the middle of fucking Times Square. I don't care if they put it on the marquee on that big ass TV y'all got in New York. I don't care how they did it. I don't care who was the one who throw out the first numbers. It's like, I'm tired of fucking sitting up over here watching these fighters literally wait for these fights and go back and forth for fucking years about making a big fight, and it never happened. Each, like I said with Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, either one of them could have said yeah and made that fucking fight. Either one of them could. What they choose to take and what they choose to give out to each other, that's their business and all that stuff. But guess what? At the end of the day, us as fans, we the one who suffered from that, picking sides and all this yelling and shit like that back and forth. And this is square one once again. Square one once again. Back in the same predicament. People picking this guy over that guy when these two guys are the only ones that really know what the hell is going on. Everybody else don't even know. We just over here speculating on what they've been doing and they negotiate. But them the two only ones that know. And either one of them could have said yeah, but they didn't. So now we're suffering. Now we're waiting. The fight can happen in 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. Who fucking knows? But I guarantee you, when we back in the same scenario, people are picking, oh no, it's Spence. Oh no, it's Crawford. At some point, you just got to say, nah, nigga, it's both of y'all.
Yeah, but how many of your favorite channels are saying that is both of y'all? Be honest.
Oh,
Zero.
well, Blood is my favorite channel. So, and he's on the aspect of these
favorite
streaming motherfuckers.
Not a lot of the people we fucks with talk like Blood though. Frankly.
Well, that's because I sub to people, but it's not like they're my favorite channel. I just like to listen to see what other people are saying. You know what I'm saying?
I sub to people and I listen.
Watching these dudes in suits on ESPN.
No, I've subbed to people and I for the most part I listen to boxing talk as much as I could up until like 3 months ago. 3 months ago, I fell out of commission and I stopped listening for like a month or two. When I came back, it was some bullshit. I come back to fucking Errol Spence doing what he's doing. No talk of a fucking fight, independent fight coming up. A mystery
but people been
now
talking
his eye is
about
Gucci. Now he's gonna fight Ugas.
People been talking about this Errol Spence Crawford fight. People been talking about Errol Spence and Crawford fighting every single fucking month. Every single fucking month. If Earl got a fight, people talking about, are we gonna get the Crawford fight? If Crawford has a fight, people are talking about, are we gonna get the Earl fight? Every fucking month.
Well, the thing is too that now there's a new factor in play too, and that's one thing I did want to add. That there's a new factor in play, and it's already playing out. It just played out. The fact that Tank Davis versus Isaac Cruz sold so terribly, it just showed you put bad product out there, and we'll give you historically bad numbers on pay-per-view. You know, people want to shit on Bud Crawford's pay-per-views. Like, compare that to Tank Davis's. You know, and I think that that may have sparked something. If it didn't spark something, then I think the month leading afterward, channels like Blood Boxing or Malachi or, you know, like that do talk about the boxing landscape, especially on fucking YouTube, is terrible and not helping these fights get made. And I think that could change some things. If it doesn't, oh well, fuck it. I'd rather break down like fucking boxing to its bolts than to have motherfuckers paying for these fights or to have you a big debate as to why two regular ass motherfuckers like Bud Crawford and Errol Spence haven't fought yet. I'd rather break the sport down to its bolts. Yo, but if you guys have any parting words, let me know what it is, bro.
Well, like I said from day one, since I've been on YouTube, if you don't like what's been going on in boxing, stream that shit, turn off the TV, and don't talk about some of this shit. I've been saying this for years, you know, and you know, I don't have to go listen to anybody on YouTube to come up with the landscape of boxing when I can see it with my own two fucking eyes. And that's all I got to say.
Tyrone, what up, bro? Any last words?
Tyrone, you on mute.
He may have bopped off, bro. Nah, but with that, like fucking again, man, I ain't beefing with nobody, bro. If you feel away, motherfuckers know how to contact me. Like fucking if you feel I'm talking about you, I'm not. But if you want to take it that way, feel free. Let it motivate you. Fucking but anybody who comes through here, like fucking don't feel away about commenting. Like fucking I'm glad you fucking listen. And if you listen get butthurt about it, I mean like at least you're fucking listening. Like fucking because I got like fucking zero presence on fucking these YouTube streets. I've been dissed with the number of subs that I had, like fuck, or that I have, like fucking But ultimately, like fucking, I'm not trying to like beef with nobody. I'm not trying to come up on fucking no beef. I'm trying to come up for me. Like fucking, I'm trying to come up for the fact that life is fucking bleeding away day by day. Like fucking, and we're not getting what we want. What we're asking for is not even a fucking big deal. You know, just motherfuckers that already fight to fight each other. Not fucking rocket science. Fuck PBC. Fuck Al Heyman. Fuck Bob Arum. Fuck Top Rank. Fuck Eddie Hearn. Fuck The Zone. Fuck almost every YouTube boxing group. Fucking fuck most of these content creators, bro. Like y'all ain't giving us shit except for the people that are willing or threatening to not buy these fights anymore. Or besides the people that are really threatening to fucking make changes around this bitch and steal these fights. You know, we can still talk about boxing. We'll still be knowledgeable. You buying fights doesn't make you any more smarter than me. In fact, the opposite. Quite the opposite is true. You'd be a dumbass to be buying an Errol Spence fight. That's your first fucking three of the worst pay-per-views back to back are coming up in a row, and they all happen to be by PBC. But you got Luis Ortiz's pay-per-view, fucking number one, fucking big middle finger, fucking followed by Mario Barrios versus Keith Thurman, garbage, followed by Ugis and Errol Spence. Steal all them shits. Those shits are pie in a window, and you're hungry. You can still talk boxing, bro. That's you're gonna be just as big a fan by getting these fights for free than these fucking assholes that are fucking paying their TD Jakes pastors on fucking YouTube boxing and these whack ass fighters, church boys like Errol Spence. Make Errol Spence suffer this year. Fucking don't give him shit. Like fucking make him let that farm dry out. Like
make them both suffer. How about that?
Money. Let them let all these promotions keep putting off shit and paying these dudes at the same time and seeing how long that lasts. We could break that system of avoidance while paying these fighters. We could break that system down in 1 year if you keep stealing these fights with me. So come join me, Boxing Burglars. Fucking take every fight that comes across your way. Hopefully Bud Boxing makes a video with a tutorial on how to steal these fights. If you don't know, I mean, it's very easy. I'm not technically proficient. I don't know shit about computers. Like, I mean, match me up with any dummy when it comes to technology, and I know less than them. But it's not easy. It's not hard to debo these fights. Take all of them. That shit is food. Like fucking, and you're hungry. But let me know what you guys think. And with that, I'm out. Peace.
Yeah.